Good evening. This is Dennis Wong coming from Winnipeg. I'm coming on here tonight a little bit late because I was trying to load up myself with some proteins and a bit of the carb as I was getting really hungry tonight. So with that, what I wanted to talk about this for next 7 days is I want to talk about the function of your muscle and the importance of keeping the muscle and building the muscle. And from the food, from the movement, and when to eat more protein and when you can eat a little bit more carbohydrate. Our muscle, a lot of time we don't look at it when we're trying to lose weight, or we're fatigued and we're exhausted. When we're tired, we're stressed, we actually tend to reach for carbohydrate. We tend to reach for sweet. And because of the stress, our body's demanding quick sugar. So we tend to go for that. But in actual case that, our muscles are the one that burn the calories, burn the fat, burn the sugar. So if you don't have enough muscle, it doesn't matter what you do. You may not lose the weight, or you may even gain weight because you get into starvation mode and your body will then hold on, conserve the energy as a fat. So you have to make sure that you are eating proper amount of protein and complete protein amino acids so that your body can build the muscle. One of the things that we find it is that as we get older, our body, our digestive system go down, so it does not digest the protein properly, and it may not absorb the protein as much as when we were younger, So what you need to do is making sure that your digestive system is working well. Last week I've talked about that. Making sure that your digestive system is working well, making sure that your stomach has enough acid in it to be able to break down the protein into amino acid that our body can use. And then, of course, chewing the food, especially the meat, properly so that we're mechanically breaking down in our mouth before we swallow it. Some people will say that, you shouldn't eat animal protein, but animal protein is actually the easiest complete protein that can provide nutrients and amino acid for building muscle. I'm not saying you have to eat animal protein, but it's easier that way. You can do it with the plant protein, but you have to be really eating variety of plant, nuts, legumes, etc., to really get enough amino acid for muscle building. But I will get into detail tomorrow about animal protein, and then the next day about what you need to do if you're gonna go vegetarian protein. It's a little bit more work, but it's doable. Some people will prefer that because they are vegetarian and they don't want to eat animal protein, and that's fine with it. I'll get into detail in a couple of days. So I want to talk about, why muscle is important. Our whole body energy production is done in our muscle cell, something called mitochondria in our cell. That mitochondria burn the fat, burn the sugar, and make energy for our whole body, brain, heart, everything. So if we are losing muscle, then you're gonna get fatigued. So if you eat more carbohydrate, you're gonna get quick energy, but it's not gonna sustain you. So you need to build that muscle. So if you're gonna be eating a lot of carbohydrate and you don't eat enough protein, you need to be exercising a lot to build that muscle. So some people will say, oh, I'm gonna eat tons of protein, I'm gonna go exercise, great. But when you're exercising in the gym a lot, then you also need to do the carb loading, because when you're exercising, you need the immediate calories and sugars from the carbohydrate. Otherwise, your body at certain point of exercise going to start burning your muscle, and you don't really want that. So there's a few ways of doing it. There's day that you don't exercise. It's the day that you should be actually eating more protein and cutting on the carbohydrate, because you're not needing immediate calorie from a carbohydrate. When you're exercising, then you need to then add a little bit more carbohydrate. How much protein you need to eat, it all depends on person to person, but there's some calculation that we have. If you like to know that, PM me and I can share that with you. I hope that this is maybe a little bit confusing, but it's helpful information and make you think about, what you're eating and, how much muscle you need to build, etc. Like I said, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail tomorrow, specifically with the animal protein and how the whole muscle work again. I hope this is helpful information for you. This is Dennis Wong coming from Winnipeg, and I'm grateful to serve.